Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, 15-yard penalty for illegal use of a tortilla.
Also, this isn't the first time I've been bamboozled by a LeBron James decision.
All that and more on the way next. Dolly Parton needs our help. 8772-RADIO-U. If you hadn't heard, she was supposed to do a run of shows in Las Vegas at the end of last month. She had to uncharacteristically cancel those, postpone those. I love this. When she decided to postpone those shows, she goes, this is so Dolly. She goes, as I joked with my doctors, it must be time for my 100,000-mile checkup. She was going through some health stuff, but she was not, she didn't specify anything.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'm going to be fine. She's going to be back doing shows at some point or whatever. But it wasn't the right time for her. But the general thought was she was going to be okay. Right. Like this was the way she had put it and the way nobody else seemed to be panicking.
Seemed like no big deal.
No big deal. And maybe it's not, but also her sister, Frida, raise your hand if you knew Dolly Parton had a sister.
Didn't know. I mean, I feel like I probably knew because I think she mentions in one of her songs, A Coat of Many Colors, that, she's got lots of siblings or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not surprising that she has a sister.
Yeah.
But also, I went through the whole Dolly experience at Dollywood, and I don't remember a lot about siblings.
You're like, I don't remember
They did not
Frida.
really focus on them as much.
Yeah, you're like, a Frida. Where's Frida at?
Yeah, but Frida, Dolly Parton's sister, had some words to share on Facebook yesterday, and she said, last night, I was up all night praying for my sister, Dolly. Many of you know she hasn't been feeling her best lately. I truly believe in the power of prayer, and I've been led to ask all of the world that loves her to be prayer warriors and pray with me, et cetera, et cetera. Which this could just be a translation thing. Some people could see this and be like, oh, no, Dolly needs prayer because she's not doing well. She's in the hospital. Some people just pray about everything all the time.
Yeah.
And so, some of the stuff that was thrown around, maybe at first, before we just got this update, is that Dolly Parton had, kidney stones. Maybe you would pray about that. I mean, some people would, but It's not the kind of thing you would be up all night praying about, I don't think. But, and then to ask everybody on Facebook. It is, I don't know. It could be a whole lot of mostly nothing. It also could be time to pray because things may be taking a turn for the worse.
Yeah, I mean, Dolly Parton's getting up there in age, 79 now, and so, things happen. So I'm not surprised to hear that, she needed to maybe take a break a little bit, but hopefully, we are certainly hoping for the best, that it's not something extreme. Also, just look this up. She has 11 siblings.
Oh, no.
She is one of 12 children.
No wonder they didn't spend a lot of time focusing on that at the Dolly Parton experience.
It'd be a lot of people.
Yeah, that it would really distract from Dolly herself.
They may have mentioned
if they gave everybody a little time in the spotlight.
Right. They may have mentioned it somewhere in there, but didn't actually name them.
Guarantee there was pictures of her and all of her siblings in black and white or something like that. And I mean, if you didn't read the whole thing, I guess, or didn't retain it, you would just think that was
forget.
Dolly Parton and whoever, just a bunch of other kids from her school or something. I don't know, for all I know. But hopefully she's going to be okay. There's not at this point been anything specific of she's dealing with this. This is a big concern, anything like that. It's just her sister, somewhat vaguely on Facebook said, Dolly needs your prayer.
Yeah, this could just be also the classic, no offense, classic boomer thing where they just don't realize that they're freaking people out and making people panic.
Yeah, that is true,
My parents do this to me all the time where they'll text me randomly and be like, call me when you can. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to call my parents. Somebody's dead. Something wrong has happened. Because again, my brain goes to worst possible scenario first. And then they'll be like, yeah, I just wanted to see what you were doing today. And I'm like, what? You have a heart attack over here.
Yeah, that could definitely be this. I guess I hope that's what this is.
I hope so,
I really
too.
do. I don't like this. I don't like how we got duped yesterday. We got absolutely bamboozled. We were Smeckledorfed. Yesterday, we around this time were speculating about LeBron James. He had announced the second decision was coming up. It was supposed to be at noon Eastern. The rampant speculation was that he was going to be announcing this is his final NBA season, right?
Yeah.
In fact, the speculation ran so rampant that people were buying up tickets to the Lakers' final game and stuff, like to the Lakers tickets skyrocketed in price.
The prices went from an average of $80 to an average of $400 for the last home game for the Lakers this season because people were freaking out. And I'm sure similar things happened in Cleveland because people were probably thinking the Lakers' last game in Cleveland would be
That'd be a big
Cleveland
moment.
people's last opportunity to see him play there. And so, it really disrupted a lot in the market because we all thought he was going to announce his retirement.
Yeah, except for me. I thought it was going to be about tacos. And it turns out I was much closer than everybody with the retirement thing.
Nene was close too because he said he thought it was going to be an ad for Prime Day. So he was really close.
He was on the right track. Instead of LeBron James, the second decision being about his final season, being announcing some kind of retirement, instead it was his decision to go with Hennessy VSOP, alcohol.
Yeah. Boo. Boo. This is just, you can't, jerk us around like this, LeBron, with these, with these little decision videos making us think that something big is happening and then it's an ad. That's just wrong. This is why we hate commercials here at Radio U.
We do hate them, especially when they're under the guise of being a real thing.
Right.
And they turn out to not be anything anybody should care about at all.
I wonder if anyone's going to file a lawsuit or something.
To get their money back for their tickets?
No.
Because people just, put down a stack of cash to get these Lakers tickets.
Maybe that would be the reason why, they just, bought a whole bunch of money because that $400 price range was probably for nosebleed seats.
Yeah.
So imagine what somebody paid to get courtside or something.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked to see if people are upset.
Unfortunately, I don't think that they probably have much of a leg to stand on in any kind of court, but we can all just be mad at LeBron. And I tweeted this out yesterday. I said, Michael Jordan would never. This has single-handedly, until a horse kicks me in the head and I forget this day, this has made me think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron.
I thought you thought LeBron was the GOAT.
I did, until he did this.
Oh, this move?
Yes, this is so wrong.
Completely outside of the court.
Yeah, you can't do this. You can't, the trust that he has broken with the American people.
I agree that this is not a cool move, but it makes no difference to me on the court. He still is the best player.
I'll tell you one thing. Now I'm never buying Hennessy either.
Oh, were you planning to buy it originally?
Doesn't matter. I hadn't made up my mind. Now I definitely have.
Okay.
It is a day chock full, literally from sunrise to midnight, of do or die showdowns. When you think about it, 877-2 Radio U, of course, because we start the day with the Battle of the Buzz in about 30 minutes with Jack Blair, a brand new artist here on Radio U, going up against 1K Few and Forrest Frank.
Yep.
Do or die. Then, starting at 3 Eastern, we get 4 consecutive elimination games in the MLB playoffs.
Pretty exciting.
And that is because, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Aaron Judge had a clutch home run last night to save the Yankees from elimination. They once again had gotten down big to the Blue Jays, which they did in the first 2 games as well, and the Blue Jays won those. They were down 6-3, and at one point 6-1. And Aaron Judge hit a 3-run home run off the foul pole to tie the game. And then the Yankees were able to score the following 3 runs after that to get a 9-6 win and avoid elimination.
Wow, pretty shocking. I went to bed when it was 6-1, and so I definitely thought the Blue Jays were going to finish them out. They had looked very dominant throughout the whole series so far, and if you don't know, this is a best of 5, and so all you have to do is win 3 games. And they won the first 2 in Toronto, so all they needed to do is win 1 in New York, and they still can do that tonight. But I definitely thought it was going to be over. Yeah. I mean, you get 6 runs in the first 3 innings. It seems like it's, you can put it to bed there. Right.
And that's what we did. We both probably went to bed. But the Yankees storm back. So now the Yankees have, once again, need to win to survive tonight. But they do have Cam Schlittler pitching for them tonight, which obviously we all know how that went against the Red Sox in an elimination game. How do you think it goes tonight, Allie?
I'm hoping the Blue Jays can put it away. They do have the last resort of if they do lose this game in New York, they get to go home and play a game in Toronto. And clearly, New York was not doing very well in Toronto. The Yankees weren't doing well there. But if you give the Yankees a chance to tie the series, I gotta say the nerves are going to be up.
Yeah.
They have to be. Because I also don't know who would throw for the Blue Jays on that Game 5 day.
They're shorthanded in, well, actually a lot of their big names, Bo Bichette for hitting, but then also it was Jose Barrios, Chris Bassett, and Max Scherzer, which is probably for the best. We're all on, we're all left off the roster for this series. So they are shorthanded with their normal starting pitching.
Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'm thinking that Toronto needs to finish this series out tonight to really just make sure they're good to go.
Yeah. The good news for Toronto is their pitching hasn't been needed to be as good because they've been scoring a bajillion runs.
Yeah.
Even last night, they still scored 6 runs, even though they lost. And now everybody's going to be picking the Yankees tonight. Cam Schlittler, we all know how that went against the Red Sox. But that was also the most pitches he's ever thrown in a major league game. So maybe he comes back down to earth tonight. And the Blue Jays have just been hitting everybody the Yankees have been throwing out. So maybe give me the Blue Jays. I'll zig while the world wants to zag.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm hoping the Blue Jays win, but I'm not confident in picking either team for this one.
Now, next question, what about every other series is in action today as well, and they're all elimination games. So quickly, you have Mariners or Tigers. The Tigers need to win to survive.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Mariners can win this one similar to the Blue Jays, and so that would put them in the ALCS. It's a big deal for them. So my hope is that the Mariners win.
Brewers and Cubs. The Cubs need to win to survive, but they are at home.
Yeah, I think the Brewers are going to finish out this series.
Yeah, I think so too. And then Phillies and Dodgers, which the Phillies need to win to stay alive.
I picked the Phillies to make the World Series. I picked the Phillies to win the World Series. So I want the Phillies to somehow even up the series, but they're in LA.
Yeah.
So I honestly...
They had chances to win the last 2 games.
Yeah, and they didn't.
You can't let those slip through your fingers. They are at a major pitching disadvantage tonight.
Yes,
and on the road.
I think that LA is going to finish the sweep.
Yeah, give me Dodgers, Brewers, and fine, Tigers. The Tigers. I don't know. I don't really care. An influencer on TikTok has taken raw dogging to a whole new level. 8772 Radio U. Of course, raw dogging last year, right, is when it blew up as a way to travel.
On plane.
Yeah, where you would fly, and during the flight, you would have no entertainment except only the flight tracker. But other than that, no screens, no books, no podcasts, no nothing. This guy, his name is Rowan on TikTok, started a raw dogging challenge where every day it was 7 days, right?
Yeah.
He would just sit there for an hour. He said this was to try to fix his attention span.
Yeah, he wanted to be okay with just sitting in boredom and just not doing anything, because he said, he's constantly wanting to check his phone. He's wanting to play a video game or watch a show, watch a movie. Something is always at his attention. He even mentioned that sometimes he'll be in the shower and on his phone.
Oh, wow.
And so, he was, seeing that was a problem in his own self. And so he wanted to stop that. And this is how he decided to stop it, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely think that a lot of us could learn a lot from this.
Yeah.
But I also feel like 1 week where you do it an hour a day is not going to fix it long term.
Probably not.
You have to, if you want to fix your attention span, like he mentioned, we actually have to I don't know if you have to go full raw dog and just sit there, because I don't think people in most of history have ever just sat and done completely nothing.
No.
Like, to me, maybe I'm a little over-reliant on podcasts and music, where, like, if I'm doing dishes or some kind of chore or whatever, like, I'm always doing something, but I'm also doing something else at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but, like, you could raw dog doing the dishes, or raw, like
right.
raw dog making dinner, or whatever the thing is.
Or raw dog the shower, apparently.
Right, raw dog the shower. Just start doing things where you're not even using some other form of entertainment to let your thoughts wander. Could be helpful.
Yeah, that's a great idea of, what are the things that you're doing to cope through menial tasks, and maybe remove that coping mechanism, and just do that menial task instead. Because to me, in all honesty, I don't have an hour just to sit and do nothing.
Yeah.
If I have an hour to sit and do nothing, I'm going to use that time to read.
Or you're going to fall asleep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I just sat there and had nothing going on, no music, no show, no book, I would fall asleep.
If you can sit for an hour without doing anything and not fall asleep, you haven't worked hard enough.
Exactly. You are a very privileged person.
Yeah. You weren't busy enough that day.
Yeah. All the parents are like, yeah, exactly. You have no kids. If you have 5 minutes to yourself, you're going to fall asleep.
Yeah. But I like this idea. I like the idea of raw dogging more things. Although I will say, for me, while it is true that I have podcasts or something on basically constantly whenever I'm doing something, like doing whatever other thing I need to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find myself even missing out on the podcast that I'm listening to because my mind is wandering.
You're thinking of something else.
Yeah. So I don't know if that means my attention span is so bad I can't even lock into a podcast, or if that means my mind is still good at wandering and imagining.
Yeah. I mean, there's multiple ways you can look at this. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's a good thing that you want your attention span to be longer. It's an honorable thing. But, there's other ways you can do it rather than just wasting an hour of your day.
Definitely dialing back on the screen time is something that each and every one of us can learn from.
Maybe delete TikTok.
Yeah, maybe. Even though now it's safe because it's American. My oppositional defiance disorder is showing, I think. 8772 Radio U. This is in regards to one of the great traditions in college football right now. At Texas Tech, they have a tradition. They've done this for about 30 years. Nobody can pinpoint exactly where it started, but for the longest time, it's a tradition at Texas Tech football games, home games, to throw tortillas on the field.
I didn't know this was a thing, but the images of this is so cool.
It's good, harmless fun, right?
It's making me think of that Vine that was like Hurricane Tortilla.
It should be no problem. Nobody can get hurt with a tortilla, right?
You would think it's pretty soft.
But this has been banned by the Big 12.
Why?
Yeah.
What is up with these conferences ruining all of our fun?
I know. This is way
This is less
not even in the same league as rushing the field, which we're also in support of.
Exactly. Like what we've seen with the SEC is they're fining a whole bunch of schools because people are, storming the court or storming the field.
Virginia got fined for their illustrious field storming, and that's in the ACC versus Florida State.
Yep.
That was a big one earlier this year. Well, Texas Tech, you could argue this is even worse because they're getting penalized on the field. This was a new rule the Big 12 put into effect recently. They voted on this, that you're not supposed to throw objects onto the field. It was a 15-1 vote over the summer. Texas Tech was the lone school to vote against it.
Of course.
And so when people throw tortillas onto the field at Texas Tech games, that results in a 15-yard penalty. That's tough. If they want to do it at just different points throughout the game, it could really affect the outcome.
Yep.
Typically, it looks like, usually they'll just do it at kickoff, and so it's not as big of a deal. But it's gotten to the point now where the Texas Tech football coach, Joey McGuire, right? He has been pleading with fans, urging fans not to throw tortillas on the field because it could hurt the team.
Yeah, it looks like what they were trying to do is they were trying to urge them to limit the tossing to the opening kickoff. But getting them to obey that or listen to that has been really hard, obviously, because they're all used to being able to toss tortillas whenever they want to toss tortillas.
Yeah, and yes, I understand you don't want fans throwing, like, if you just let fans throw stuff on the field without any repercussions or anything at all, that is chaos. But tortillas at certain times of the game should be fine. And also to penalize the team on the field for fans throwing things on the field.
It's just wrong.
Is not even the right way to go about it. That's not going to stop the fans, probably. It's better than fining the school because the college students are certainly not going to care about that. But this actually hurts them on the field. But still, it's not fair. The players can't control that.
Right. And listen to this quote from Coach McGuire. He says, "We are the most penalized team in the Big 12, and that's on me and our coaching staff and our players. We don't need anything to add to it." Is it on you? Is it? I get that you're trying to be the bigger person and you're trying to, not get the fan base upset. But honestly, I think it might be more, sure, you may be penalized for other reasons.
Yeah.
But it's sounding like you're getting penalized for stuff that's out of your control.
And if I was the coach, I wouldn't necessarily be encouraging fans. You got fans that are excited. Your team is good. They're there and they're involved for your games. Don't discourage them.
That's true.
Don't tell them to stop throwing the tortillas. That's not your job.
Well, I don't think McGuire's doing that at all, because clearly he's taking full ownership for them getting penalized. But like you said, they also don't want this to somehow ruin what has been a perfect season for them so far.
I'll tell you what, though. If I was a fan of whoever Texas Tech is playing, a road game, I'm traveling to Lubbock.
Taking some tortillas.
It's gonna take and I'm just taking backpacks full of tortillas, chucking them on the field all game long.
I wonder if they'll start
sabotage.
If they'll start limiting how many fans can bring in. How many you can bring.
How can you enforce? They're going to check bags, tortilla check.
I mean, they already check bags to get into stadiums.
We are doing Would You Rather Wednesday, so you can chime in with your thoughts on whether you would rather be able to enter any fictional world from media, but you only get to specify the genre, and then you have to stay in whatever world you wind up in for a month before you can leave, or you get to freely go back and forth between one single specific fictional world that you get to choose. 877-2-RADIO-U. Let's start with Aaron, who says, "I'm thinking one world freely. I prefer control. It would be cool to use the ability as an escape."
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that is a good point from Aaron.
Yeah, we heard from Regina. She also chooses the one fictional world with free range, and she gave us which world she would go to. She said she'd like to go to Narnia post when the White Witch is defeated.
Okay, good choice.
Yes.
Chuck says at 877-2-RADIO-U, "I've thought about this. I would definitely do the second one, which is choosing one single world, and you can go back and forth." He says, "Where would I go? I thought about Harry Potter, but I don't have magic powers, so that would just make me feel left out." So also, lots of kids die in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
we've covered this before.
Not very safe.
No. So I decided I would go to Ready Player One and play video games, and once I'm done, I would just come back.
I like that.
Yeah. I guess one other no, I want to see other people's texts and then I will share my idea.
You shared William's text, right?
We haven't gotten to William yet.
Okay. He said he would choose the second option of going back and forth between one. He may take a longer time to make his decision on which place he would visit, but when he would like to not be stuck for a month. Oh,
yeah.
And he would like to know where he's going.
Fair enough. And then Susanna said, "I think multiple worlds sounds more fun, and staying a month gives you enough time to settle in a bit."
Interesting.
Susanna zigging while everyone else zags. Let me tell you why, Susanna, why you're wrong. You only get to choose the genre. I think that is the massive key.
That is.
For the first option. Because you could choose a genre and you could wind up in a world that is horrible.
Yes.
And then you'd be stuck there for a month. You may not make it out alive. You can pick some horrible worlds that you're like, I wonder what it would be like. I don't know. I guess if you choose the one where you go back and forth freely and you think it'd be cool to be in Lord of the Rings or whatever, and you go there and it's like, oh, this sucks, then you just come back whenever you want.
Leave Middle Earth whenever you want.
And you never have to go back. So maybe you missed out on an opportunity to explore some other cool fictional worlds.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not at risk of dying.
Right. Here's the thing. I am a big reader. I've shared that many times. And so the appeal of being able to go to multiple worlds, it's appealing to me, for sure. But as you point out, you can't choose which worlds you're going to. And so I get a little bit like eerie with that lack of control because as we all know, with any type of storytelling, what drives storytelling is conflict. So no matter what fictional world you're talking about, there's some type of conflict in it. And some of these conflicts are real bad. Like, do you really want to go to the Mad Max world?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so.
And you only get to choose the genre.
It's very
some
wide
genres,
open.
I mean, some genres, basically, you choose it, you're cooked, basically. Like 9 times out of 10.
If you choose fantasy, you could end up in a whole different, you could be Dune. You could be Westeros. You could be all over the place. And so, yeah, I think I would much rather choose one. And honestly, with Regina's thing, I'm going with Narnia.
Yeah.
Give me Narnia.
I don't know which world I would choose. That's the kind of thing you would want to sit down and really think about that because you only get one.
You only get one.
And so I can't just make up my mind on that right away.
But to meet Aslan.
That'd be cool.
That would be so sick.
Especially if it was Liam Neeson voicing him.
Oh my gosh, yes, and not Meryl Streep.
Allie's Cleveland Browns are in the news, 8772-RadioU. Yesterday, they traded quarterback Joe Flacco to the division rival Cincinnati Bengals. And all they got was a lousy 6th-round pick. But honestly, for Joe Flacco at this point, that's not too bad. Allie, how do you feel about the trade?
I shared this when the news came out. I was like, you know what? This shows you how down bad the Bengals are.
Yeah, it really does. I'm sorry, by the way. The Browns sent a 6th-round pick with Joe Flacco. So they get a 5th-round pick from the Bengals.
Yes.
So maybe not so bad of a deal. I think, this shows that the Browns know that Joe Flacco is so washed that they can trade him to their division rival and not even have to worry.
And it'll be okay.
They're foisting him on the Bengals.
They're like, here you go.
Yeah. And the Bengals are so down bad, they're like, can a washed Joe Flacco save us until Joe Burrow gets healthy?
He might. The Flack attack the original time around, it worked out for the Browns.
It can't be much worse than what the Bengals are currently going through.
Yeah, exactly. And so the Bengals are like, we got to try something. We got to see what happens. I did see this, though. I think it was one sports betting account or something. They posted this, and I was like, interesting. They said, Flacco now has the opportunity to be the first quarterback in like whatever new era that we're in to beat the same team while playing on different teams. So he beat the Green Bay Packers while playing for the Cleveland Browns.
For 2 different teams in the same year.
In the same season.
Yeah.
And so he has an opportunity to beat the Packers with the Bengals.
Does he, though?
I think less likely, but hey, I would have said the same thing about the Browns beating the Packers, and they did. So it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. And the NFL, you never know. Maybe the Packers will do what the Cardinals did this week.
Yeah.
And drop a touchdown right before the goal line and fumble an interception that gets kicked into the end zone.
It happened. It's really wild, but it happened.
2 weeks in a row, probably. Now, of course, for the Browns, Dylan Gabriel definitely cemented as a starter for now. And you might be thinking, that must mean that Shedeur Sanders is going to be the backup, right? Maybe not.
Why not?
Because the Browns also have Bailey Zappi,
who's
actually played in the NFL and started and won some games on their practice squad. So there's talk that he could be the backup. Also, this wouldn't probably be for this week. It definitely wouldn't be for this week, but it could be for later this season. Deshaun Watson's still a Cleveland Brown.
I know.
And he is going to, at some point, be healthy. What I was reading says maybe later this month.
Yeah.
Physically, yes. Mentally, we don't know.
No. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the Deshaun Watson situation. The Browns are just a mess. They're just a mess over there. But I have to say, I liked what I saw from Dylan Gabriel against the Minnesota Vikings in London on Sunday. And so I am fully okay with them showing that they have confidence in him and they're implanting him as the starter by trading away Flacco. I think that's what this decision said is, we're confident that we're moving forward with QB1 Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, I don't know if it says they think he's really great, Dylan Gabriel. It's just like, we know we're not going to make the playoffs.
We know we're not going to have Flacco.
Yeah, there's no point. At least find out what we have with Gabriel. Let him start some games. California has just passed a new law that could have national effects for the better.
Okay.
8772 Radio U. The legislation that was signed earlier this week by Governor Gavin Newsom is a law that closes a loophole in the Commercial Advertisement Loudness Mitigation Act, also known as the COMM Act.
Okay.
This is a law that was a national law that was passed in 2010. That the idea, you may have guessed from the name, is to stop ads from being so dang loud.
Yes.
Compared to the rest of the thing you're watching.
I am applauding California. Thank you.
But
we need this.
Here's the loophole, or here's why this has been an issue, because this law is from 2010.
So it didn't apply to online?
Yeah, in 2010, they were focused on broadcast, like cable and satellite TV.
Yeah.
Hardly anybody was streaming, if anyone, in 2010. Now, basically everyone is streaming, but this law didn't really apply. Again, it was a loophole where it was just because it wasn't a thing yet, it wasn't mentioned. So California has now closed this hole that now means, certainly in California, if you're watching Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, anywhere else you might see ads, you might have
YouTube.
It will force those ads to have to be the same volume that your whatever thing you're watching is.
Thank goodness. I really do hope that this spreads across all of these United States, because this is a huge problem, particularly for YouTube. I've also experienced this a lot on HBO Max, because I have found HBO Max to be a particularly quiet streaming service.
Okay,
and so I always have to turn it up a little bit more, but then as soon as an ad plays, it'll be way too loud. And it's like, I can't handle this.
They blast you right out of your shoes.
Which I actually pay for the ad-free version of HBO Max, but because HBO Max is the sports stuff, so like right now they've got playoff baseball at TBS, they still play ads for those because they have ad breaks. And the ads are still way too much, like they're too loud. And so this is a great law. Golf clap again for California. Thank you. And again, I hope this passes across all of America.
Yeah, I think the idea is California's doing this, but it'd be more hassle to have it be different, hassle for the streaming services to have it be different for every state than just like, all right, if California's not going to let us have loud commercials, we'll just make that the norm.
Oh, I hope so. You would hope.
Thank you, California, for doing this. And yeah, I don't know if it applies to YouTube, but I sure hope that it does, because YouTube is absolutely the worst.
Yeah, YouTube's the worst offender of this. It needs to stop because the YouTube ads have gotten out of control. And so for them, now it's like you're seeing 2 unskippable ads before every video.
Yeah.
And for them to also be louder, it's just so annoying.
And they're not going to pass a law to change this, but the idea that YouTube, you can have 2 ads before the video and then have an ad break like 30 seconds in.
The mid-rolls are annoying.
And then a live read that is in the video.
Right. This has to stop.
Yeah, it makes your head want to absolutely explode. But I don't think there's much we can do about that. But thankfully, now at least the commercials should be at the same volume as everything else. And isn't it really sad, too, that obviously this has been a law for every other kind of TV for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
They're obviously clearly able to do this,
yeah.
And they're not limiting the volume of the commercials purely to irritate us.
Yeah, well, they know that it works. It gets people's attention, and there's a reason why they do it. But yeah, this is just really annoying to me that they know that this was a loophole, and so they were purposefully like skirting the law because they were like, helps us out.
Illustrates to me too that like companies 9 times out of 10 will not, unless they are forced to by the government, will not do what's actually in the best interest of their customers.
They're greedy.
If they can get away with it.
Right.
Why watch reality TV when we all know it's fake, when instead you could be watching real reality TV? I'm talking about the live stream from the Elbow Room Bar in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This has taken the internet, particularly TikTok, by storm, even though this is something that has been live streamed since 1996.
What?
Yeah. How could the internet even handle a live stream in 1996?
I was going to say, where was it live streamed to?
Yeah. How could any dial-up internet connection handle live streaming this thing? But literally, the Elbow Room Bar in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, they've been live streaming their cameras from their bar for the past 30 years, basically. But people have really gotten into it on TikTok lately, where you can either, for free, stream several of cameras from around the bar without sound, or if you want to pay up $2.99 a month for Bandcamp Plus, you can also experience sound. And so you can actually hear conversations people are having.
Do people have to sign an agreement to go into this bar to be filmed and voice recorded?
I don't think so. One, it's Florida, so probably not. But also, two, they're going into this bar's property.
Yeah.
And so the bar can, if it's not in the bathroom or whatever, they can do what they want, right?
I was going to say, I know that restaurants and businesses are allowed to have security, CCTV, and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I believe if it's live streamed, there might be some different things required there, especially if you're recording audio. Again, maybe it's different in Florida, but...
yeah, I mean, it's different state to state, but I would be shocked. They've been doing this for 30 years. I'd be shocked.
Yeah. Since it's been going on for so long.
If people are signing a waiver just to go in and get a few drinks, or if this is illegal. Well, because they've been doing it for so long.
I don't know if it's illegal, but I personally would want to know if I'm going into a restaurant or a bar that I'm being filmed and live streamed.
One of the videos literally shows a couple guys talking and pointing to the camera that somebody posted on TikTok as they're in the bar, being like, look, we're live right now. And then they look at it on their phones while they're standing there in the bar.
That's crazy.
And obviously, you could pay up for the sound, but what I've seen a lot of people doing is watching this and making up the interactions that people are having. You know what I mean?
That's so funny.
And you think about a Fort Lauderdale bar on the weekends, the kind of drama that you could witness, the kind of things going down, the interactions going down, that'd just be absolutely priceless.
It does look like the videos that I'm seeing. It does look just like, chaos bar energy. And so, yeah, this looks like a wild time for sure. I've
seen some people on my TikTok coming up where they will get together and have parties where their thing for the weekend is that they're going to sit together and watch. Yeah, and give stories to these people, which is hilarious.
That is hilarious, but also kind of sad. I mean,
why?
That's the most, how we've talked about how Gen Z, it's they're not going out anymore. Mm-hmm. They're not drinking, which is fine. Do that. But it's now they're just sitting at home and watching the live stream of the bar.
But you're getting together with your friends. And so you're...
I guess getting together with your friends and watching
this is groups of people. This is groups of gals.
That's better. That's better than you just at home watching a stream of a bar by yourself.
I mean, wouldn't you say this is better than also sitting at home watching Love is Blind, because at least this is real?
I mean, I think Love is Blind, it's a TV show, so it's meant for entertainment, meant for being watched at home. Don't necessarily know about the interactions at a bar being made for television, but hey, I'm not going to yuck your yum, I guess.
Yeah, this is, I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Oh, seriously? You're going to watch this weekend?
I definitely
With college football and NFL and baseball?
They'll probably be watching college football on the camera, so I'll
just see the scores from there.
And see how they react.
They'll be slightly delayed.
Yeah, but I'm used to that.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.